Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Chapter 11. Version of Riyadh as-Saliheen, the abridged Riyadh as-Saliheen of Nawawi rahimahullah. The author says, Babul Mujahada, the chapter of being a warrior against oneself. The chapter of struggling, fighting, coming to with your own nafs, your own mind, your own thoughts, your own statements, your own actions, your own ego, your own fears, your own insecurities, your own ups and downs, so on and so forth. So he says, Babul Mujahada, i.e., the obligation of al-Mujahada. This is obligatory. Also, the virtue of doing it. And then when you do put forth an effort, Allah Azza wa Jalla will aid you and make things easy and simple, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, after some time. And how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised those themselves many things in this life and the grave, and when they stand, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, when Allah allows them into Jannah. So that's what's meant by al-Mujahada. And inshallah, the author is going to talk about its ruling. Is it a preference? Is it optional? Can I make jihad against my nafs sometimes when I feel like it, when it's convenient, when I'm in the mood? Or is it a constant struggle? Can I lower my guard? Or am I always supposed to be aware, be vigilant, be ready for the shaitan to attack me through my own nafs? And that itself is an amazing concept if you think about it. That sometimes your worst enemy is you yourself. The worst enemy. And there are people who have different things in which they're afflicted with. Now, it could be, for example, shaitan could come at you with pride. A person has a great sense of pride, self-honor, shame. And he may not do or say that which is necessary because of fear of that pride being injured. Or a person wants to live too much. He clutches to life so much, and which he fears to risk injury or death, and he doesn't say. Or wealth, or nisa, women, and the list goes on. The problems that are all within the soul, that we seek Allah Azza wa Jalla's refuge. The author, he says, قال الله تعالى وَالَّذِينَ جَاهَدُوا فِينَا لَنَهْدِيَنَّهُمْ سُبُلَنَا وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَمَعَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. The first ayah is from Surah Al-Ankabut, the last ayah 69. Allah Azza wa Jal, he says, Surah Al-Ankabut, he says, and those who fight, struggle for our sake, for our cause, Allah Azza wa Jal, he says, surely we will guide them and we will lead them to our path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with those who are aware of Allah Azza wa Jal, and those who do well, and those who struggle, and those who who perfect their fight and perfect was with them. So this ayah clearly tells us the virtue of al-Mujahada. Guidance, and is a means of divine protection by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The author then says, وَعَنِ ابْنِ عَبَّاسٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمَا قَالَ قَالَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ نِعْمَتَانِ مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ الصِّحَّةُ وَالْفَرَاغُ رواه البخاري. Narrated Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما, the Messenger of Allah ﷺ said, two favors of Allah, two great bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that most people forget about, most people don't utilize, most people don't manage them properly. Most of us abuse these two blessings of Allah. And he says, and these two blessings are good health and free time. And this hadith is collected by Imam al-Bukhari. What's meant by this hadith in this chapter is that me, myself, you, all of us, we have to fight ourselves when it comes to our to take advantage when you're young and when you're strong, when you're energetic, when you don't become tired, you don't get worn out, you can keep going. You have to take advantage of it, because it's easy to fall into sin when you're young. It's easy to fall into error when you're young, to be foolish, to be stupid, to be impulsive, to follow your lust and to follow your desires. It's easy when you're younger. So you have to make mujahada. Also, if of your youthful years, or you did, but now you've become older, you also have to fight yourself, not to become lazy and complacent, not to become lethargic and laid back. I've made it. memorized the Quran. I studied when I was younger. I made Hajj. I got married. I was righteous. Khalas. I can relax now. Okay? I can take it a bit easier. I'm retired. And there's no such thing as retirement when it comes to mujahadah. So a person has to fight himself when it comes to his good health. When his health isn't so good. He's sick. He's ill. Allah tests him. Cancer, diabetes, all of these things. You can't stop fighting. You have to keep fighting until the last breath. And also, al-faragh. Idle time. We have to fight ourselves when it comes to the time that we have, which is free. And the believer should never ever truly have, quote unquote, free time. It's always something that you should do that's beneficial of the deen and of the dunya. Of the deen and the dunya, of both. Okay? Whether it's exercise or permissible sports or permissible recreation, spending time with your family, talking with your brothers and sisters in Islam, whatever the case may be. But it should never be a thing in which you're just totally idle and void of time, and which you're bored, and a person is trying to kill time. And we know the major attack that every human being is under in 2017, not just the Muslims, when it comes to free time. The phone, the smart is designed for you never to have free time. It's designed for you always to be engaged in some type of laughter, sport, entertainment. It's never meant, let's just say, for example, a book. Even if it's not a religious book. The book could be a bad book. But the technology today is designed to pick up a book. And it's designed for you to 24/7. Everything that you need and want is geared on the phone. You want to order food? You want to read a dictionary, an encyclopedia? You want to watch a video? You take a picture of yourself, a calendar, a planner, an alarm clock, Facebook, Instagram, your friends, everything is geared around this piece of technology. And it's not just a thing in which is just a benefit and a blessing, alhamdulillah, but it's a thing that kills all free time. And there is no book, there is no recreation, there is no working out, there's none of these things. Technology, your thumb's moving. Everybody understand this? So this is very important wisdom from the Prophet ﷺ. Is the free time that you have, and we all know that non-Muslims, father, they would say when you're younger, he said, what? Idle mind is a devil's workshop. Idle mind is a what? It's a devil's workshop. You have nothing better else to do. How many young brothers and sisters go to jail, unfortunately? They get involved in crimes, they do drugs, they make zina, they have boyfriend and girlfriend because they were bored. And there's nothing else better for them to do. And it's not just America. You go overseas, in the Muslim lands, it's the same thing. It's nothing for them to do except for smoke cigarettes and sit around and listen to music. It's nothing better for do, so I got a tattoo. I was bored. I had nothing else to do. We robbed somebody. We did this. We did that because there was nothing fruitful for them to time, and that's unfortunate. And the people that did make out of that life, that lifestyle, there was a profession, there was a sport, there was a scholarship, there was something. Not even talking about religion, the Muslims that they did that took them away from their peers. They just wasted themselves with total nothingness. The last hadith of the chapter is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. Messenger of Allah alayhi salam. It's not necessarily the last hadith of the chapter. Perhaps it'll be the last hadith that we'll mention today. He says, أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال حجبت النار بالشهوات وحجبت الجنة بالمكاره متفق عليه. Abu Hurairah narrated, the Messenger of Allah says that the fire is surrounded by lusts and paradise is surrounded by hardship and difficulty. And hadith can be found in the Saliheen, Bukhari and Muslim. So he says that the hellfire is surrounded by lusts. Following your lust, obeying your lust, lead you to following that which is against your lust, what the soul doesn't want, what the nafs doesn't agree with, that leads you to paradise. And this is a universal principle in all religions and all walks of life. Hard work is the key to success. Patience is bitter, but the fruit of it is what? It's ever sweet. So ease will ultimately lead to your undoing. In this life and in hereafter. Lust, that which feels good, tastes good, looks good, smells good, sounds good. It's so easy, it's so simple, so sweet. To go against the grain to achieve life and also in the hereafter. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.